Tomorrow marks the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks, and many first responders and others are still battling illnesses, health problems. More than 250 FDNY firefighters alone have died of 9/11 related illnesses. I'm joined now by attorney Michael Barasch, managing partner at Barasch and McGarry. And Michael, thanks so much for being with us.
My pleasure.
I know your firm is doing the hard work representing thousands of people, not just first responders, who were impacted by their time being here on the pile or in the area. Tell me what kinds of illnesses they're experiencing now.
Okay, so NIOSH has now linked 68 cancers to the World Trade Center toxins. There's a presumption, even if you're a smoker or have a family history of breast cancer or prostate cancer, if you were exposed to these toxins, the Victim Compensation Fund will give compensation, and more importantly, you're entitled to free health care for the rest of your life from the World Trade Center Health Program. The really heartbreaking thing is we fought so hard to get these bills permanently extended and fully funded. Yet so many non-responders, the guys here in Wall Street, the guys at Goldman Sachs, the American Stock Exchange, the New York Mercantile Exchange, New York Stock Exchange, they don't know they are eligible. Only 8% of the non-responders have enrolled in the health program, while over 80% of the firefighters and cops have responded. So we need to do a better job of spreading the word that everybody in the financial community is eligible, and they should register now, even if they're healthy.
Good, and we're doing a program like this. We're helping to spread the word. How can people find out more? Where do they need to go?
Well, they can go to 911victims.com. Of course, there's so much information. There's an affidavit you can download. You need to prove that you were here. So if you worked at Goldman Sachs, for instance, it's easy to prove it. The company still exists and will write you an employer verification letter. But let's assume you work at any of the tens of thousands of small companies that are out of business.
Right.
Right? You're not in touch with the former boss. You're not in touch with your former co-workers. How are you going to prove you were here? You have to have 2 affidavits. Well, that's why I'm telling people, even if you're healthy, get those affidavits signed now. And if you're lucky enough to have your former employer still in business, well then get an employer verification letter. And you'll upload it to the fund. So this way, God forbid, you ever get sick, you're covered. But don't wait until that moment when the doctor says, ma'am, I'm so sorry you have cancer. I mean, not a day goes by without one of my clients dying. We've now lost, the Department of Justice just mentioned it this week, we've now lost 4,500 people to 9/11 illnesses. That's way more than the 2,956 people who died on 9/11.
This Victim Compensation Fund was extended recently to the year 2090.
That's right.
Is it funded through all those decades?
Fully funded, and you're not taking money away from firefighters and cops. That's one of the most common reasons I hear from people who are survivors, not responders. I don't want to take money away from others. You're not taking money away from anyone. You're protecting your family. You know, 9/11 did not end on 9/11. I know that the press, no offense, but everybody's out here today and tomorrow because of the 20th anniversary. But on Sunday, people will still get sick. And the press probably won't be paying that much attention. So I so appreciate your helping me spread the word, because there are people out there who have the rights. I mean, the free health care alone is invaluable.
Absolutely. So if the fund is good to go through the year 2090, I imagine there's no deadline for when a person can actually bring a claim.
The only deadline is if you die. And then your family supposedly has 2 years from the date of death to register a claim.
Okay.
But there are exceptions. If you didn't know that you were eligible, the special master can say, oh, well, there were extenuating circumstances, and she still may find you eligible. But if you know anybody out there whose loved one passed away in the last 15 years due to a cancer or respiratory illness, it's not too late for them, probably. So register. You know, you don't need a lawyer. I know, isn't that amazing? A lawyer telling you this, but so many people think the 10% fee that Congress set for lawyers is well worth it. Again, take advantage, access what you are owed. That's what Jon Stewart always tells people.
Right, and he was one of the people who really, really fought.
We never would have gotten it
this.
passed without him. I made 25 trips to Washington, but it was him shaming Congress that got this thing done.
Yeah, his face was all over the press, absolutely. I know that your office is located not too far from here, and in the weeks following 9/11, the EPA said, the Environmental Protection Agency said, it's okay, you can come down here, the air is okay to breathe. I mean, were they just missing the boat back then?
Look, the fact is, they wanted to reopen Wall Street, and they did. By the EPA coming out 5 days after 9/11, and the EPA czar, Christine Todd Whitman, said the air is safe to breathe, we came back to school. We came back to our homes. My office is 2 blocks from here. And in the last 15 years, my secretary, Liana, died at age 47 of breast cancer. My paralegal, Dennis, also at 47, died of kidney cancer. I'm a prostate cancer survivor. My other secretary, Barbara, has lymphoma. 2 other people in my office have skin cancer. These are all considered related to the toxic dust. And what did we do wrong? All we did wrong was listen to the EPA. We wanted to help the economy and get it going again, but we're paying a price. But the government did the right thing by creating the health program and the victim fund. So that's why John is always saying, access what you are entitled to. There's a scientific proof linking 68 cancers to these toxins.
Unreal.
You don't have to prove anything other than the fact that you were here.
Now we're facing this pandemic. Last year, I know the Victim Compensation Fund was amended to ensure that if a post-9/11 worker died from a COVID-19 related illness, they can somehow still tap the fund?
You're very close.
Okay.
If they had COVID and they had an underlying respiratory condition or cancer that compromised their immune system, then yes, the Victim Compensation Fund will view that as a 9/11 related death, and they're giving significant compensation, $250,000 for the death, another $250,000 for an underlying cancer, and then if you were under 65, they'll give you lost income up to the age of 65. So this could really mean financial security for a family. And that's why it's heartbreaking when I see people when I know there are so many people out there, mostly office workers, who don't realize they are eligible.
Michael Barasch, thank you for joining us today and for helping to get the word out. Hopefully people who are hearing this and seeing this will be able to act for themselves or for a loved one or a friend.
Thank you.
Thank you.